World's biggest currency hedge fund. John, I want to talk a little bit more about the euro. You bet against the euro last year.
Right.
You're still betting against it this year.
Yes.
How low does it go?
It's going to par, and it's probably even going below par. But a lot of it depends on how the European governments manage this crisis that they're in, and it is nowhere near finished.
They've done well so far, I say sarcastically. Only
Yes.
because I say it was an issue earlier this year. It's still an issue.
Right.
And a lot of people say there's a lot yet to be done.
Exactly.
Will they manage it well in your view?
No, I don't think it's possible. The opinions are way, way too far spread apart.
So do we see a breakup in the euro? I mean, some of the people we've come on have said that we could see two tiers, a Euro A and a Euro B, or even countries falling out.
Yeah, something like that. I think they're not going to be falling out. They're going to be thrown out. I think they're going to get disgusted. And you're also going to get countries defaulting within the euro. So therefore, the bonds of euro countries aren't going to be safe anymore.
If a country is thrown out of the euro, does it cause a total collapse of that country's financial system?
I think it does. Right? I mean, you know, you can't really be sure until you really see it happen. It's interesting. We have a couple of interesting examples out there. We have Iceland, and we have Latvia, and we have Ireland, all of whom have gone through a collapsing kind of situation. Two sort of within the euro and one outside. And the best, most healthy of them, I would argue, is Iceland. And you probably will get a lot of opinions on that, but Iceland has done better.
And it was doing very poorly. I mean, things then in your world can turn around very quickly.
Right, they can, and they can also get extremely drastic in suddenly.
Let's talk about the surprise that we were talking about before the break. Chile, you were discussing, was a move that shocked the currency world.
Yeah,
a few days ago.
In a way, we should have seen it happening because the Chilean peso had been getting stronger and stronger. In the second half of last year, it was the second strongest currency in the world. Australia, I believe, was the strongest, just by a hair more. And the Chilean government was getting anxious not about its copper business, because that was making a lot of money, but all the guys growing vegetables and stuff. And so they felt they were going to lose the export market. And so they were making noises. And all of a sudden, bang-o, the central bank jumps up and says, we're going to intervene for $12 billion. And in a little country like that, that's a heck of a lot of money. And all of a sudden, yesterday, the Chilean peso lost 5%. And today it's lost a couple more.
Well, when you talk about surprises, and forgive me, because I want to go back to the euro for a second, could European officials surprise us and do something that really shores up the sovereign debt situation over in Europe and then consequently shores up the euro? Do you anticipate that at all?
Well,
and what could that be?
They certainly will surprise us with little surprises. They did last May. They surprised us because they came up with $1.15 billion. That was a heck of a lot, or euros, I should say. That was a heck of a lot of money. And so everybody scrambled. Trillion. Right. Excuse me, trillion. Trillion, numbers get too big. And so we all scrambled for a couple of days, and then we turned around, we looked at it, and we said, hey, you know, it's not going to change anything in the long run, so I should change my strategy for the next month or two, but I should stay with the big strategy and figure out what to do next.
But it supplies a steady source of business for you, this current situation.
Right. I mean, the euro's been wonderful. In the 90s, it supplied a wonderful source of business for us because they were creating the euro. So there were all kinds of deals going as they created the euro. Now they're disintegrating the euro, and there are lots of deals because of that.
What's your biggest bet right now?
The biggest bet right now for us is, God, we don't have anything terribly big, but we're still long quite a bit of Brazil, and we're long quite a bit of Australia, and we're short a lot of euros, right? I mean, that's the biggest, and we're also short a lot of sterling. I guess those two are about even.
Let me ask you about Asia. Byron Wien has said in one of his top 10 surprises for 2011 that China will strengthen the yuan. Do you think that that's going to happen this year? Do you agree with Byron?
They will, but I don't think they're going to. His number was too much, right? I think they're probably going to, you know, be tight with us. They're probably going to go somewhere between 5 and 8%. They also have this, whenever you talk to them, they say they don't want the speculators to make money. So they kind of look at the forward rate and they try to make the market go along where the forward rate is, and there's no profit to be made. So then they have.
So not terribly exciting for you then?
No, I have no position at all in it. And when the Chinese people come and they ask, they say, well, how much are you speculating in my currency? I say, look, I avoid it, right? It's not worth it, right?
All right. Hey, John, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. John Taylor from FX Concepts. We're going to take a quick break here on Bloomberg. We come back.